All right, everybody. We are down here below the Mississippi state line in beautiful Louisiana. We ain't very far into Louisiana.
No, we're about a mile from the state line.
I was going to say I know it wasn't very far. What's this area called?
Warrenton.
Warrenton. Okay. I couldn't remember. I knew it was like in between a couple of places. That's kind of like where we live.
Franklinton and Tylertown.
Yeah. So we're down here with old Hog Dog Man. He's got some bulldogs. He's got a yard full of them too. So introduce yourself. Tell our listeners who you are.
Timothy Kling with TK Hog Dogs.
All right. So how long you been in it? Give us a little backstory on this. Like how did you get into this and what kept you in it?
I've had dogs my whole life. Like I said, me and my dad, we had coon dogs, deer dogs, rabbit dogs, catahoulas, and all that stuff. And then we went a while without them, and I ended up actually getting a Eli dog from a friend of mine. And then not much longer after that's whenever me and Lexi had gotten together.
Okay.
And then we decided to start getting back in the catahoulas and use them for hogs.
So
what started that was that stupid one you got me to try to have as a pet.
Yeah, I had gotten her. It was a blackmouth and a catahoula cross.
Yeah.
And goofy. Butterflies, dragonflies.
Didn't matter.
It didn't matter. He was chasing anything.
That's what Cody Odom from out there in Georgia, he told me about that. He's got a world champion bay pen dog named Halo. And that's what he said. All the other dogs were just jamming. All the other puppies, he said, and Halo would be chasing butterflies. And then one day she was like, okay, I'm grown. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And that's how it happened, I think it's funny how dogs can do that. You can have a puppy, and like we were talking about puppies earlier, you have one that shows all this happening right now at such a young age, and then it might slack off a little bit, and then the one that wasn't doing anything jumps to the front of the pack. It's back and forth like that. So I
noticed that a lot with the males too.
Mm-hmm. And that's where your breed program to me comes in. You know? And so what do you predominantly, which like I said, I know you got a lot of game stock. Some old school stuff. Yeah. And you don't see a lot of guys running that anymore.
Nope. A lot of them can't get, really, cause it's not that they can't get it, it's they don't know how to preserve it. Mm-hmm. That's the huge problem with a lot of these guys with these bulldogs.
So what are you doing to preserve it, to keep it right?
Pay attention to your attributes and know what dog goes to what. Just because they got two pretty pads don't mean that they go together at all.
That's exactly right. So when you in the breeding to keep your lines, you hear line breeding.
Yeah.
And we talked about this earlier. Every genre of dogs is different. The breeders are. The dogs not. The breeders are.
Yeah.
Like, doing a line breed like you do for what we've done all these years is totally different than what a duck dog guy does.
You ain't lying.
Yeah.
They definitely don't do that at all. And that like we talked earlier, that's another problem with them dogs is because they don't know how to hold them attributes that they like in their dogs.
Oh, I agree. Because I've seen some of them that you'd have a whole litter that would be phenomenal. And then after that litter, the next ones you'd start having you'd have a lot of dysplasia show up.
Yeah, it's just a lot of watered down stuff because they don't know how to hold it.
I worked at a retriever kennel for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And the most line breeding they would do would be like a great grandfather or something like that.
Yeah, they don't want to get it close.
Great uncle. You talk about breeding father, daughter, or anything like that, you were talking about the boogeyman.
Oh, I know. That's like, we always talk about checking your stuff.
Yeah.
You take belly mates, breed them. Let's see what you got,
Yeah.
Do you do that? You don't have to do it every time, of course, but it don't hurt.
No.
And that shows what you're throwing. It's just a different process. And there's people out there that's going to disagree with that.
Yeah.
There's guys you already know that. Especially some of the people that haven't been doing it very long.
Yeah.
They try to apply those other things to the game dog world.
Yeah, and it don't work.
No, not at all.
I think it's a lot of people just don't understand how to hold the attributes. I mean, you got to know your dogs. You got to know what they're lacking. I don't care what anybody says, one dog's always going to be lacking something. You're never going to have a perfect dog.
That's what me and Nate was talking about the other day, wasn't it? Is his holding up good? What's on? Well, that's what we were talking about. You know, if you get a 50% rate, turnout rate overall, you done good.
Yeah, you've done damn good.
I mean, you done good. You hear these guys say, oh, man, I've been breeding for 20 years, never had to cull a dog. No, you never culled a dog. That's all that comes to.
Yeah.
Like, no, you needed to.
Yeah.
So that's something there. What about the culling issues? Do you have to cull much, or nobody wants to talk about it?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I mean, you know, so far the turnout rate has actually been pretty good. I mean, we've had people claim that they had dogs that wouldn't do nothing, and man, we have offered, you know, bring them over here, I'll get them started, I'll replace them. And you never hear nothing else about it. Yeah, I don't think it was that much that the dog didn't want to work or was a cull. I just think they didn't know what they were doing and didn't want to admit it.
They're full of shit.
Yeah, they're full of shit. Yeah,
because I mean, I've ran into that too. You know, and that's one reason why I wouldn't sell dogs forever. I was like, no, I'll give you a dog. You know, and it's because like I had a situation one time, sold a dog. Phenomenal dog. The guy's like, this dog won't do nothing. I'm going to go ahead and cull this dog. And you can just send me my money. I was like, no. I'll come to you and we'll check it out and you show me what it's not doing. Yeah. Just don't worry about it. I said, well, I'll tell you what. I'll pay you for your day off. You drive up here. I'll pay for all the fuel. I'll pay you what you gave me for the dog back. Yeah. Free and clear. And if the dog works, I'll give you $1,000. And you still keep the dog. And if the dog don't work, you gotta pay me the same amount.
Yeah, they change their mind. Yeah.
And like you pay me the same amount, and then the dog's gonna be culled right then.
Yeah.
He don't want to discuss it anymore.
No, I guess not.
They're trying to hustle. That's all it is. They want to ride off your coattails with your stuff, and then turn around and make it. That fire is kicking my ass.
That smoke is getting to me.
We're sitting. Some though, like remember that litter we bred? It was cinched to that rodeo ranch pit.
Yeah, we did do that. I bred
every single one of them bitches.
My Catahoula that I got down there by the puppy yard. We bred him to a rodeo ranch, which is the lady that used to be a secretary over the Tri-State Rodeo Association. It's her line, and we kept all the puppies here, man, and we couldn't touch them. Really? It's just some blood does not mix. No matter how hard you try, it's not going to mix.
That was that hound litter off of Dottie. Between us and two buddies, we kept the whole litter and culled every single one of them. Yeah. I think only one made it.
Oh yeah, that was off of Adam's mail.
There's a lot of people that won't do that. No, they want to place them with somebody or make them pets or something. And hey, that's fine, but there's got to be stipulations, deep stipulations with that. I don't do that personally.
No, we don't.
But if somebody wants to do that, like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like if I got a mail from you and you say, hey man, this mail's not going to do it or whatever. Yeah. If we were different people and be like, okay, look, you got to have him neutered.
Yeah, spay or neutered.
You got to have him spayed or neutered, or if you keep him intact, he can never be bred, or blah blah blah, whatever. You know, because you should not pass that on.
Yeah, that's bad traits. And
I mean, we do give that option though to people if they have, like, especially if they have kids and they get a dog from us. And I know kids get attached. They might.
Oh yeah, kids are gonna get attached.
So I'm like, you show me proof of spay or neuter, I'll replace it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one thing with ours too. We got a work guarantee. So I mean, if it don't work out, and but you got to send me video proof. I'm not just going to take your word on it. You have to actually show me that dog ain't working, and we do replace them.
Oh, without if and like I said, I trust your process on it. I've talked to a few people that know you. Some of them are fairly local, and some of them aren't. You know, I don't know if they even actually know you or not. But I was like, you know, I'm one of those people. I want to see for myself.
Benefit of the doubt.
So I'm going back to Alabama with a buggy full of puppies. Yeah. And we're going to check them out and see what they do. From what I've seen on the yard, I don't think there's going to be any issues.
No, there shouldn't be. Not at all.
No, I don't think there's going to be any problems. No. Yeah. So, y'all listeners just be looking for there's a little black dog going to be popping in a video for too long. y'all just mind your business.
Yeah, and as far as starting them like on hogs and all that, usually around 6 months I'll show them, and then let them sit up to about right at 10, 11 months, and then try them again. And after that, I'll let them sit up to about 14 and then start taking them.
Then they'll be ready to roll.
Yeah.
And I've told people the same thing before. I was like, usually if you've got good stock like that, you don't have to start them. You just show them, hey, this is what I want you to do. And generally they'll take to it.
Yep.
Same process is what we do. Like you
yep.
said, you got to
point them in the direction you want them to go and let them go.
You got to keep it in their mind, and you got to make them want to do it. And once they do, and if they don't want to do it after the second time I expose them, then usually it's just, I'm probably not going to continue on that path.
Yeah.
Because it costs the same amount of time, effort, and money to take care of a dog that's really good as it does to a dog that's not going to make the cut.
Yeah. See, and that's where a lot of people disagree with us. With the stuff that we have over here, I'm not giving a dog to their 2 or 3 years old to turn on. All of my dogs, usually a year or less, are already wanting it. So,
I've had that discussion with quite a few. I was like, I don't think you should have to continually do 3 or 4 sessions to get the puppy interested or the young dog or whatever.
Yeah.
Because at 10 months old, it should just be, you're holding it back.
Yeah.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
To me, with games, with anything that's got true American Pit Bull Terrier blood in it, that's off of good lines, you got to keep it from going.
Yeah.
You got to let his teeth set and be good enough to go hang.
Another thing people disagree with us on is a Me Too dog. Whether it's a bay dog or a catch dog, if they can't do it by itself, I ain't feeding it.
Yeah, I agree.
If I got to send another dog first and then another catch dog behind it.
Mm-hmm. Which we started carrying 2 catch dogs a long time ago, and the reason we did that is because the situations that we're in. It wasn't like, well, this dog can't do it or whatever. It's like there was you
never know what you're sending them to.
Like we're on a mountain and a bluff, like I said, you don't ever know.
Yeah.
You want to?
I said we carry 2, and then by the time you go hunting with a group, sometimes you'll have 3 or 4.
That's right, but it's not to help that one dog.
No,
it's not to say, well, this dog can't do it. Yeah. I mean, you go in there and there's a tank. If you can send 2 and make it easier, that ain't no big deal. But you go in there on your average 125-pound hog, it don't need no help.
No.
Shit, usually we don't even need to send a bulldog on stuff like that, man.
We got to have
them cur dogs is already caught.
That big old bird bull Cole. That poor dog rode the truck all year long year before last, and never got cut loose. I was like, buddy, I'm sorry. One day I was like, yeah, let's cut him loose. 40-pound. So I was like, damn, man, I'm sorry, bud. But, he was there.
Yeah.
If we needed him, he was there. But like I said, 9% of the time, the cur dog's got him stretched out.
We did that the last 2 times we went hunting. I sent LaRue just to do it. Yeah. They already had it caught. I knew it wasn't going nowhere, so I'm like, hell with it. Let him go.
That's right. So you like males or females more in the hunting part?
And the hunting aspect, it really don't matter to me, but I've noticed that the females catch on a lot quicker than the males. The males tend to mature a lot later.
Mm-hmm.
Bay dogs, I like females. Males, as far as like catch dogs, I'm indifferent, but bay dogs, I prefer females.
You like females?
They just catch on a lot faster.
I'm the same way. I like them. What kind of terrain do y'all hunt around this area mostly?
Yeah. So a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
A lot of pine.
Yeah. Most of these thickets are miserable.
Mm-hmm.
They got some stuff that we went and found a deer for a boy the other day down the road from here, and there's hogs all over out there, and you'll never convince me to hunt that stuff.
Yeah, so thick.
You could have a D6 dozer and probably not be able to push through that crap. Forget that.
You remember Devil's Nest behind Miss Bridget's?
Yeah, Miss Bridget Smith and Mr. Dickie Smith. They got a place over there by their house. There was a boy probably as big as me and you put together, and then me, and then his wife, which is Miss Bridget's daughter, Hillary, Bridget, and then Lexi, and we all couldn't push through it trying to get to the Bulldogs.
Damn.
We was each pushing each other trying to push through and couldn't get through.
It's thick. And some parts up here is real hilly.
Yeah. I know it's a big difference in terrain. That's difference from, North Louisiana to south to the swamps and all that. You know, it's a whole lot different.
Yeah.
I've never hunted in the marsh or anything like that.
Marsh ain't meant for fat people. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Exactly. Look, I've had a few people, like, hey, y'all come on, we'll go hunt. And I'm like, yeah, we'll go. And I'm like, for some reason, I just never make it. I want to go, but it's like, we hunt the swamps, okay, a lot. And like it's a little different. You got to get in some water.
Yeah.
But generally, it's, you know, you don't have to deal with like the floating
disappearing
pads
every 5 foot.
you know, you don't got to deal with all that. A lot of it is what, waist deep or less, you know, knee deep maybe.
It'll be this deep, but it's this much of mud.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a pain. But at the same time,
It can always be worse.
yeah, you could be hunting the mountains. The
I don't know, I
mountains.
think-
Sometimes the mountains are pretty tough.
I think I'd rather go do that than go down to South Louisiana and get back in that marsh again.
Yeah, I don't know. Randy Durrell was telling me about going with Jake. He said he got out of the boat. He said he was gone.
Uh-huh.
He said he get up. He was like, "Where'd y'all go?" He said, "You get on top of that grass, take a step." He said, "Everywhere Jake had went," he's like, he was just boop. He was going under. He was like, "Man," he said, "that shit right there is rough."
It is.
So I've never done it. I'd like to go do it.
It's
though.
miserable.
I'd like to try that. So y'all on your hog dogs, your bay dogs, or your hunt dogs, whatever, y'all have like loose bay, or they rough dogs? Y'all cast them, put them on a track or feeder, or
We could pretty much do anything with them, and I try to make them versatile to where
Yeah,
I can
hog dogs.
cast them, or I can walk hunt them, or put them on, whatever I need to do. Most of the time, we'll cast on them because
Yeah.
a lot of the places that we've been getting recently are bigger, so you've got to cast them if you don't know where the hogs are, because you
That's
definitely
right.
can't depend on the members over there to tell you.
that's
they-
everywhere, brother.
They might have had hogs about 40 years ago over there.
We hunted Tulsa Standard Hunt this past year. They said, now keep in mind, we're down below Blackshear, Georgia. I live in Alabama.
15 minutes from Florida.
Yeah, we're 8 hours one way. These cats done went down there and put out 2 tons of corn and all this stuff. The hogs is stomping. We pulled up. I said, "There ain't been a hog here since 1972, boys." I never drink when we hunt, ever. One time in 20 years. That was the second time. I got 8 o'clock. I popped the top. Everybody looked. They was like, "What?" My brother,
I was drinking.
yeah, everybody was like, "What?" I was like, "Look, let's just have a good time. We ain't catching no hogs. We hunted all day long. Water waist deep. We're riding buggies. Water's up to your ass cheeks. We finally scrubbed up one,
There was a spot of rooting from the sows and pigs, like this big, in the middle of the road.
and we caught a pig that was about 25 pounds.
On like how many thousands of acres?
Well, I mean, bro, we hunted all day long. That was the second day. No, we told them, it's like, "Hey, we
As
leave.
long
We
as
stay in."
We went to a gravel pit like that. The guy called us talking about, "Oh, he's ate up with hogs.
Had 8,000 acres.
Armadillos.
Get over there, unload the dogs, and they're riding around." I'm like, "Dude, there ain't been a hog over here since 1942.
Mhm.
That wasn't a waller. There wasn't
Nothing.
a track. There wasn't nothing from a boar hog rubbing his teeth on the pines. Nothing." 2 weeks later, he called some other boys from Albany to go down there. Same thing.
Mhm.
Nothing.
Nothing.
We'll be back after a quick break.
We would like to interrupt this episode to take a moment to thank our sponsors and friends of Dixie Doggers Podcast. Southern Cross Cut Gear, Boars N Broads, Hardcore Hog Dogs and Cut Gear, Showtime Premium Pet Food, Animal Housing Solutions, Tuskers Magazine, American Doghorn Association, 4L Kennels, Hogbang.com, The Boar's Nest, Crockett Taxidermy, Mud Creek Hog Baying. A big shout out to all those people and companies who help make us who we are. Thank y'all.
Bunch of deer.
You'd be surprised at what you just said about boar hogs rubbing them pines. When we first started going, I didn't know that's what it was,
Mhm.
And I don't remember who we was even talking about it. And I went to so many different places, and I'd see that, and I'd ask them. I was like, "Damn, them boar hogs been wearing it out to here," and they're like, "What are you talking about? The deer rubs?" I was like, "It's not deer rub."
That's some hogs.
And so I'd show, these are other hawk hunters, and they're like, "Dude,
Yeah.
I didn't know that." I said, There one time I didn't either. And now they're all on top of, I said, just pay attention.
Yeah.
I said, you'll see some sign like that.
I had a boar hog over there in Bogalusa tear my camera up doing that. Straight
I
destroyed
used to
my
live in
Tacticam.
Bogalusa. My baby sister was born in Bogalusa.
Well, you know where 10 Point?
Shit, I don't know. I was so little when I lived
It's,
there.
as soon as you get out of Bogalusa on 10, it's like the first probably 7 or 8 miles
big
on
old
the right.
ranch named Pro Chemco. Ranch used to be down there. That's where we lived at.
Okay.
I don't even know if that's the same name anymore. It used to be called Pro Chemco, and that was, Jesus, 40 years ago. More, 40 something. I don't know how old I am, but it's a long time ago. Shit, I'm telling on it now, ain't I? So when you got your dogs, how many do you normally take?
On big leases like that, I'll load the dog box up, but we don't put but 2 or 3 down at a time.
I got you.
Any more than that, them big hogs, you'll push them.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, when we walk hunted a lot, of course we had a lot of smaller dogs.
Yeah,
a bunch of them little jags and stuff, but we would still only hunt just a couple. And I'm infamous for I just want one dog. Just put one. I don't care if it's a young dog, old dog, puppy, whatever. Just see what he's gonna do.
Yeah,
by itself,
It depends too who all we're hunting with. Because if you're hunting with 3 or 4 people, I ain't putting but one of mine out.
Yeah,
I don't. If we go with other people, I won't hardly even put none. I let my run. We bring our run and catch dogs or something. I'm like, because you know how that goes.
Yeah.
Ma, look at what my dog did. And like, come on.
It'd be like old T&J Kennels dumped the box.
Mm-hmm. Put it all on them.
Yeah, we've done that a time or two. All them hogs cross the road. Next thing you know, you got 30 dogs running down the road towards them.
Yep.
Everybody done turned everything loose.
Yeah, that can turn into a fiasco.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
And about 7, 8, 9 o'clock getting home too.
Yeah. Sometimes it depends on what time you turn loose. Yeah. If that was a morning hunt, yeah. I used to be bad about going that night and then be like midnight, like, man, we need to get to the house. Let's just drop one more time.
Yeah,
that's the worst
I learned
thing.
my lesson on that. That one more time, nope, we going to the house. Don't turn nothing loose.
We went out there with Carter and them and hunted. We did that. There was a group of pigs. We come across the hill. I'd seen them. I was looking over here. Well, there was another group in front of us. So we got down there and they done turned a bunch of dogs, several dogs loose.
These were pigs.
Pigs,
these
yeah.
were like 70 pounds.
Well, we was just,
they're too small.
We was trying to stack it up. Yeah. I said, no.
3 miles.
Across the river. It kept going. It was cold. Lord have mercy. It got cold. I told him, I said, don't turn my dog loose. Like what? I said, I'm telling y'all. I said, if you turn them loose, we ain't going home.
I think I had turned one of our cur dogs loose, and
that's when I said,
Lord, it came back.
I started as soon as I pulled up, I told him, get back here. It was Matt.
Yeah.
No, Matt stayed.
Yeah, because Matt stayed with us.
Matt went on ahead. I was like, oh my God. But that's what happens.
Exactly. Yeah, that one more time always ruin everything.
Mm-hmm. So is hogs about the only thing y'all hunt the most of, or with dogs?
Yeah, with dogs, yeah.
Y'all hunt everything, though.
Yeah, we hunt everything, but you can't really deer hunt around here with dogs anymore, man. Like when we first moved here, we got into it with the people that live behind us.
Mm-hmm.
He come up here pretty much trying to, be a bully and all that. If I catch any dogs over there, I'll shoot them, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
you couldn't shoot my dogs.
So that'll be the last one he shoots. All I'm going to tell you. Yep. You shoot one of my dogs, that will be the last one you ever shoot. And
that's the way everybody should be.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we've been lucky and not had to deal with very much of that right in our immediate area. Yeah. But I know some guys who have had to deal with a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I know some guys that they've told me, they're like, oh, if I see a deer dog, I'll shoot the hell out of it. It's like, hey, don't tell me that.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that. Because if something happens, I'm going to say, that guy said he'll do it. I'm going to tell on your ass. I'm going to tell it in a minute.
I'm just going to tell on your ass. I'm going to beat your ass too.
If this has something to do with my dogs or anybody's dogs that I know, yeah.
That's why it's always important, too, to make sure if you're going to go hunting somewhere else, let everybody else around you know.
Yep. Communication.
Yep.
It's very easy, but it seems like it's the hardest thing to get done.
Yeah.
So, talking about deer hunting and stuff like that, how does deer season affect the hog hunting?
Oh, it's done. Once deer season starts,
shuts it down.
It completely shuts it down. You got some places that, that'll allow you to go on there, but it's really not worth it because as soon as your dogs get off of there, you got to deal with all that. You got to deal with the game wardens.
I mean, state law, you can.
Yeah.
That's same with us.
Let them have their time. I've had people do their thing. When it's done, go do yours.
I've had a lot of them. They're like, well, y'all can't hunt during deer season. I'm like, yeah, well, legally we can. We try not to. We don't want to deal with all the issues.
Well, that's like during turkey season over here. There's no law that says you can't run hog dogs.
Mm-hmm.
It's specified down to I think it was fox dogs.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got a statute in there of disturbing the hunter and the game that can get you in a lot of trouble. So either way you go, if the game warden takes your side or his side, somebody's going to get mad. So it's best just to avoid it.
What?
It's the same way with ours.
Yeah, ours blatantly says no running the dogs after 3 a.m.
See, ours says foxhound or fox dogs or something like that on it.
It doesn't matter if it's private land.
The smoke is killing me
or
right now.
Public land or whatever. You're not supposed to run dogs during turkey season during the daytime.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of guys that, that you coon hunt. They go out, wait till dark. Guys hog hunt, same thing. But
you
now
pay me to hunt at night.
that's the only time we hunt.
I hate hunting at night.
For the most part. Well, it ain't the only time, but.
I already can't see with my glasses off. At night when my glasses off ain't worth a crap.
Because that's, like I said, that's when we would hunt the most at night.
Yeah, during deer season and stuff. Yeah.
During summertime, we're going to hit early as we can.
Yeah.
Well, like when we had that club 10 point, that wasn't so bad. It had a lot of roads, like a lot of cut throughs, a lot of trails.
You could get to.
Like you could get around fine without really marching through the woods much. But
yeah. But if you don't have the roads and the way to get around it, it's tough.
Yeah, it's real tough.
All right, so here's another question I skipped earlier. I should have asked you was about the size and conformation on your dogs, on the Bulldogs. What's your average size, or what sizes are you looking at?
Average is probably about 40 to 55 ish.
Yeah.
But I'd rather, a 50, 55 pound for a catch dog.
Yeah.
As to, back then they wanted smaller dogs for, what they actually used the APBTs for.
Well, see, that's why all ours were, I ain't gonna say all of them, but the majority was between 30 and 40.
Yeah. And
that's where I'm wanting the 50s.
Yeah.
So that's one reason I was interested in this stuff here.
Yeah.
I was interested in these dogs. I was like, that's the size. I like the build of them. I like everything about them.
Conformation goes a long ways with these dogs. There's a lot of guys, you look at their dogs, they'll be coon-footed, pigeon-toed, hocks turning in, and they're not going to hold up. No,
there'll be something that'll come down sooner or later. We got a young dog from a guy, and that dog's coon-footed.
Yeah.
But like everything else is just unbelievable. Yeah. But then you see that,
it's only a front feet.
Yeah.
Well, you can correct that too. So if you get something like Luna, if you have something like that and you got something that's real tight foot like Luna is and sits upright and everything, you can breed it to her, and then puppies should correct that.
But now that, like I said, that's also one of those deals where I'm not going to say he's just backyard breeder, but it's more along that lines. Yeah. At one time, he was straight as it gets. Now he's just doing it just to keep his blood going. Yeah. Just to have every now and then. He don't have a yard like he used to either. Yeah. And like I said, now I can't say anything bad about it. But like I said, and honestly, that's probably the only bad thing I've seen out of any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's got a head full of sense. So
10-year-old puppy, basically.
Yeah. That's what I said. She got a head full of sense. Sitting. And so that goes a long way.
That's a good thing too to have in them dogs too is brains. I mean, you don't want nothing that's a fast lane, wide open dog trying to catch pigs with it.
No, I've had jacks for a lot of years. That's what most of them are.
Yeah, either something or somebody's going to end up getting bit and getting hurt.
Yep, and I've went through that. I've had my dogs catch me. Yeah, which I know a lot of people have been bit or something on accident. These are just lunatics. Try to hold them back, but I don't know. They want to eat you up too.
That's how.
I don't like that no more.
I don't know if you ever seen my colt dog, that bully I used to have, the big black and white. He died this past year.
He was white and he had a big black eye patch.
I think I did.
That's how he was. Whenever you got him off a pig, you better get him the hell away from everybody.
Yeah.
He was grabbing vines, trees, your pants leg, another dog, just trying to get back to the pig.
You had to carry him out away from you by the vest and go tie him up.
Yeah.
But like his tear duct would swell and it'd cover almost all of his eyes.
His eyes would point east and west.
You might just let some bitch get so pumped up. We had a damn Patterdale. He'd bust all the vessels inside. People's like, his eyes are bleeding. I said, no. Here, break him off. He weighs 18 pounds. Break him off. Give him a break. And they're like, a break stick for him? Sure, try it. And literally, I was the only person that little dude, this was his last summer. I'm telling you, if at one time I crossed him with a red boy bitch, and oh my God, everything.
Monsters.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, everything from 22 pounds to 28 pounds. That's it.
They all look like old family.
And they all look like a bunch of little red nose. There was one that was a seal colored, and one had some patchwork on it. But other than that, I mean, they look just like your dogs.
Red noses.
They
were taller,
but they were proportioned perfectly.
Yeah,
they literally looked like a spectacular game dog that was literally 20 pounds. And I was like, bro, I could make some money with them little dogs.
You ain't lying.
But lad, they didn't last till 16 months. They took care of each other.
Yeah.
They were hot.
And that happens with the Bulldogs too, man. People don't realize that. It's bred in them. No matter how you look at it, it's bred in them, and you're not going to beat that out of them.
Shit,
if that sucker's dog aggressive, I don't care what you do, it's not going to happen.
No, if he's got it in his head, then that's what it is. That's just what it is. Yep. That's where that process we were talking about earlier.
It's adding the brains.
Adding that brain. You got to have the handle.
Yeah.
And like you said, putting him on the chain, leaving him for a year, is not a handle. I've done it. Look, and any man that's got 20, 30
I'm guilty
dogs,
of it too.
They better go on and stand up and say, yes, I've let them ruin on the chain.
Yep.
And you might not even let them ruin, but you didn't give them their full potential because you didn't do your part.
I've done that with my Catahoulas and all that, man. And everybody has. If you say you haven't, you a damn lie.
That's what I'm saying.
You're worried about your good dogs and running your good dogs,
yep.
And you leave everything else at the house. So I've ruined 5 or 6 of them doing that.
This past year, he got that dog from Gene Reynolds, that M&M pup, and I went back to the way I used to do stuff. Leave the old dogs at home, take this young dog. And I showed it, Rodney and them. I was like, look, this is the way we used to do it. And we let that dog do his thing. And that dog turned on, and he was going. I mean, finding his own hogs, casting out. Put him with other dogs, and he wanted to play around. He's still young.
Yeah, he's still got puppy in him.
So I said, and I've got a lot of young dogs at the house.
Yeah.
Several. So guess what I did this year? I gave away my old dogs. So that way I won't leave them.
Yeah. We usually do one old dog. I'll bring one old dog and 2 or 3 puppies, but
that's what I'm
going
to
do.
Got
much of a choice now. All of our old dogs.
Yeah, all of my old dogs are geriatric.
Well,
now.
That's the way mine are. They done got to that age where if somebody was just starting out or somebody's getting a little older and wants to walk hunt or something, these dogs are perfect for that.
Yes.
And let them be used. Let somebody else get some enjoyment for another year or two because they can't hold up to what these young dogs are pushing anyway. And so I don't want to take no more out of the dog.
Yeah, see, I got an old Jip, Dottie. She's blue tick and plot. It actually come from Mr. Jeff, and that's how she is, man. She's Jeff Averett.
Oh yeah,
she originally come from him.
Oh well, you got some to.
Yeah, she's nice. He did a lot of the bay pen and all that stuff with Jake.
Yeah. They're like, he went to the bay pen. He was like, oh, boys, I can do this and come up there next year and did it.
Yeah.
And showed him, said, hell, that's all you got to
like 12 now.
Yeah, Dottie's 12 or 13, but she'd be good for somebody like that, like a young kid getting in it who just needs an older dog
to get something going,
to get puppies going and all that.
Molasses and good for about 1 run a month.
That's about all you know. That's right.
But you talk about rough, that old gal should have been dead 2 or 3 times already.
Both of her lungs got lacerated, her throat's been cut before.
Dang.
Yeah. I don't know how she's still alive.
What kind of, do you have a certain line of your Catahoulas that you run, or is it just something that y'all had over the years, or are they papered up?
Yeah, all of ours are papered. Well, I say all of ours. All my young dogs, I quit, registering through NALC because,
and kept up their paperwork.
Yeah.
Well, certain stuff that they started doing with NALC, it just didn't agree with, so I just quit using them. But all of my foundation Catahoulas are all registered. We
all went from OMCBA to Kimmer now, so
either Wager, JFI, which is Ronnie Fairchild, that's my cousin, and then Miss Bridget and Mr. Dickey.
Braveheart Catahoulas.
Yeah, Braveheart Catahoulas.
Yeah, I know them. They
started getting into the bay pen heavy the last couple of years.
This past year, Martha's been waxing ass. They've been spanking some ass. Well, Martha's been a hell of a dog.
The Jip of the year.
She should have been. I mean, and Miss Bridget, if you listen to this, at any time you want to send Martha to me, I'm fine with it. But
you ought to see some of them puppies she got sitting over there right now.
Yeah, I was supposed to take Mr. Dickey a hog. I've got some of the old bay pen stock that come up from 5L up there at Reggie Little's.
Yeah.
They're a domesticated hog, but They're kind of like bucking bulls, you know.
Yeah.
They get a little rough sometimes.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of nice boar hogs out there, and one of them wound up getting. He didn't make it with the other ones in there. And I was going to take Mr. Dickey one. I got to get him one. I think I got both of them, two sows bred up right now. If they do, then I might send him a couple over there. There's some real nice folks, though.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that leads
Good
right
as
in.
gold.
That leads right into last question I got here on the hog hunting versus the bay pen stuff. And I mean, I don't mean it like, you know, what's all the good and bad, blah, 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 and all that. Honestly, how do you feel about, you know, what's the difference? What would you consider the difference between a hog dog that's in the woods and a dog that is just strictly a pen dog? Could the pen dog take him out of that pen and turn him loose? Could he produce? And could you take this woods dog and can he produce in that bay pen?
My honest opinion on it, I mean, I don't really get into the bay pen and all that stuff.
I know. And that's why I said, that's why I'm asking.
It's a lot of politics and I don't care who hears this, favoritism and ass kissing
well, that's everybody that goes, they're going to say, I mean, there's a lot of people that's going to say the same thing. And there's a lot of people that don't go that's going to say the same thing.
Yeah. But I haven't seen a lot of pen dogs that could do it in the woods. I mean, there are a handful of them that probably can, but I haven't. I think
Ricky Campbell's, Mr. Ricky's dogs, I think he's got, yeah, I was thinking saying we got pups from Gene. Now, and like I said, I'm not trying to go back.
Now, you might be able to breed them and bring them into the woods, but as far as like a pen dog.
Well, see, that was me. I just I don't know how you could do that and be, because you could take them to the bay pit, but can you compete? Are you in that top level? Yeah. Ricky Campbell, he's got a couple of dogs, and they're riding the front of that boat. Yeah. When they're not in that bay pen. And I'm telling you, he competes. But there's not a lot of them. He's one of the.
No, there's not a lot of dogs that are going to be able to do that. I can't think of a whole lot of people
that are doing that with their dogs.
Well, because you got to think about it. And we was talking about that earlier. The whole time that dog's in the woods baying a hog, he's constantly looking back. In the bay pen world, that's looking out.
Yes.
So they'll get deducted for that. And a dog that knows.
Aware of their surroundings in the woods.
Well, like you said, being aware of the surroundings in the woods. So when you swap that up and you take them to that bay pen, now be aware of those surroundings with these 20 drunk people out here hollering and screaming, radio wide open, 60 people out here when they're walking through them, stands, and 250, 300 more dogs barking and crazy. A regular woods dog is going to like.
Yeah, they're going to be looking everywhere.
Yeah, I've had our dogs just. Yeah, we've had them where they just lock down.
Yeah, it takes a hell of a dog to do it. I mean, if you got one to do it, prop to you.
That Oscar dog of ours, I just seen him back up, and he's a damn jag of all dogs. Yeah. Never had a jag that would bay. I owned one dog, and somebody else, he done all the work, and all I did was own it. And that was a dog named Mills, and that son of a gun would bay. So Oscar in the bay pen didn't bother him. He'd go in there and bay and lay it down, go to the woods, cast it. One.
Yeah.
I keep 50 head at least on the yard and have for years. And so when you've only got one or two out of hundreds that can do it, there's the odds right there.
Yeah.
And and honestly, when he was younger, I don't think he would have done it.
Takes a hell of a dog to do it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It really does.
So
why would you also take a dog like pen dogs versus woods dogs? Like pen dogs value like way more than a woods dog.
Yes, ma'am.
So why would you, in my opinion, take a dog that might be worth $20,000-$30,000 and risk it getting killed in the woods?
So what you just said, she's I don't know how well the mic's gonna pick her up, but she said that why would you take a dog that's worth $20,000-$30,000, a pen dog, to the woods and get it hurt or killed or something?
Yeah, killed.
That right there is the problem that about 90% of woods people aren't getting.
Yeah.
Talking about goose. Well, take him to the woods. Dude, no. What? No.
That
I would
dog,
never.
And I don't really care for goose.
Yeah,
but that dog has won Randy so much. Ain't no way in hell.
He told him, he said if he wins number 5, he said, I'll take him down there. And he did. And he cast him. And
I heard about that. I didn't know how true that was.
Oh, yeah, he did.
He put a video on Facebook.
Look,
no shit.
Here's the deal, though. He goes in there.
They said goose hunted.
He didn't bait that damn hog. He went there and hung him. Didn't bait. Randy thought, I'm coming,
son.
Daddy's coming. Daddy, Randy, I know you don't listen to this. I'm coming, Daddy's coming. Randy knows Goose is my dog. I let him hunt him or let him use it for the bait pin, but now he's going to be hunting. I'm coming to get him. But all bullshitting aside, Randy did do it. And the dog went, and he went there and caught. That was the funny thing. The dog, he went and found his own hog, and he caught it instead of baiting it. I was like, I got a dog.
That disproves a lot of people about that dog.
I got a dog named OJ that is a baying fool.
What?
We carried him to the woods.
He's rougher by himself.
I can see.
That son of a gun hits like he didn't bay none in the woods. He won't bark it out. He hadn't so far. He hits like a Mack truck. Old Catahoula.
Yeah, that's how my old Cody dog was. It took him.
What makes him do that, you think? Like in a bay pen, he'll bay. But in the woods, he ain't baying.
I don't know. I had my old Cody dog. We had brought him up there to Hattiesburg just for that reason, because he was so catchy that we wanted, like, a controlled environment to try to get him to back up.
Yeah.
And him and her bell dog she used to have, and everybody told us we should have actually entered them in the bay instead of just the practice part.
Yeah.
Laid down the most perfect. And then as soon as, I don't remember if it was Dion Inman or one of them guys yelled time.
Yeah.
I guess they thought they said catch.
That was it.
Oh, it was over with, Hoss.
After Cody got his ass whooped and chased out the pen.
Yeah, Cody got chased out the pen right before that, and everybody was laughing at him. But that's why we brought him over there, was for that purpose, because that's all he wanted to do was put his mouth on stuff and catch in the woods.
That's why they took the buzzer away at all Jake's baying, because the dogs had been there so long, they'd hear that buzzer.
They
knew.
And there's a lot of folks that don't understand, like when they're first coming into the bay pen world to compete, those dogs' names that you're hearing, other than Goose, those dogs are not pups. They're not a 2-year-old dog.
No.
You Iceman, Clyde, Tank, all these dogs, they're 10, 11, 12 years old. Those dogs are seasoned veterans. They know.
That's why Goose is such a number.
Yeah, and that's why everybody's on the Goose thing, because it's like, well, he's 5 years old, 6 years old, and he's won 5 times already. Well, won 5 titles. Because that's young, and it is. But at the same time, you're going to have these people over here that's going to talk, well, there's favoritism going on, or there's calls that are missed. I've seen all of it all the way around the board. I've got calls on my dogs. I was like, I don't know what happened. Why?
Well, I mean,
then I've seen my dog make mistakes. And I'm sitting there, I'm telling you, I was like, hey, my dog didn't get no 10, bro. But they didn't see what I seen, and I didn't see what they seen. So some of it is like, you know what? If you get a call that's to the good for you, shut up. If you get a call you don't agree with, shut up.
Yeah.
And if it's all the time, then you're probably
that's kind of like rodeoing and all that. Like rodeoing and all that, riding bulls. I mean, you might see somebody slap something that neither one of the side judges seen.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with that. They'll start calling favoritism and all that stuff. Judges didn't see it.
And like I said, I don't know. I cannot say.
And some of it can be favoritism, but most of the time it's the judges, the angle that they were at, they didn't see it.
And there's not a lot of judges. Like we've been going pretty steady for almost 2 years, which we would go to the Georgia pens.
Yeah.
But we started going down here to Jake's and his bayings and stuff. Went to Nixon, Oklahoma, out there, Rusty Mayshore and them. And the most consistent thing that I seen was there's not enough judges.
Yeah.
One judge sits there. Dude, he's been up all day, all night long. I mean,
because that stuff will go to 4 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly. So, they probably do miss a lot of stuff like that. But so there was a couple of people that was complaining about it. And I said, well, hey, Jake's over there. Go over and tell him you want to start judging. Oh, I ain't doing that. Well, then shut up.
Yeah.
I don't put up or shut up, I guess.
Yeah. Either help fix it or shut up.
Yeah, I'm not saying I won't do it because I have.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's not a job I want either.
Nah.
So that's one reason I don't say a whole lot. If I get a call I think I didn't agree with, I'm like, this is what I might go over here and bitch over on the side, but I'm gonna do that anyway. So
it happens.
But so like there's quite a few bays coming up. We're gonna see you at a bay.
Yeah, probably not. I'll probably be in the woods.
He's like, come on.
I'll probably be in the woods.
You be in the woods. I guess I'll have to come by here, stop and go hunt, then go to the bay pen and come back by and go hunt again. Just that way you'll at least talk to me. He messaged me one time, say, "Hey man, y'all got to quit all that. Y'all got to get in the woods. Y'all got to get off that bait pit stuff."
Comes up to him saying, "Let's go to the bay."
And I'm gonna tell you what, that's one thing about the bays that, and yeah, there's some rough individuals here and there, but there's times where things happen. But for the majority of it, you can take your family.
Yeah.
And most everybody there, everybody's got dogs. We're all after the same thing when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
We're just going a different route.
Yeah.
And so that's one reason why I started doing this, is to, everybody preaches, well, we all need to get along. Well, we're never all going to get along.
No.
But we can at least see where each other's coming from.
Yeah.
And we ain't got to be down on our brother all the time, which we can talk a little trash about him if we want to, because they're going to do it about us.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those guys that are strictly bay pinners, they give us shit.
Yeah, they do.
Same way. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And best thing to do is make the best out of it. Yeah. I think so. And you get guys like yourself. I mean, we drove 5.5 hours down here, and y'all welcomed us. Hey, just going in the house, come on in, walk out here, check out the yard and dogs and stuff. And so you can't be too bad of a person.
People try to say I am, but
he lives up to his hat.
Yeah, I live up to my hat.
I noticed that hat. I noticed it. What does it say? Professional asshole, ain't it?
Yeah, professional asshole.
24/7. Yeah. Might have to get one of them. Was there anything else you want to add to this, or anything you want to talk about, or what you can think of? You want to cuss anybody out?
There's a bunch of them, but nah. Not that I can think of.
Well, if you do, we can do another one in the future. We, like I said, we got it set up where you can do on phone interviews.
Yeah,
and stuff
I remember you telling me that.
But we're gonna.
That give me something to do while I'm at work driving.
Yeah,
bored as hell.
Which it's been, like I said, it's been 2 or 3 months since we've been able to put one out. We've been busy.
Yeah.
We're trying to get a schedule so we can try to do 2 a month.
Yeah.
And keep them coming on out. Nate has got a whole plan laid out, and he's already got it wrote down. He's got our guests and start lining them up so that way we can have all of it lined up in the process instead of just fly by the seat of your pants.
Yeah, usually those are the best ones though.
They do.
But you'd be surprised. For every one that actually happens, there was 10 that were supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And they'll cancel on you when you're setting stuff up. Oh, man,
no shit.
Oh, yeah, that
I'm
right
too drunk. Actually, I got to leave tomorrow, so I want to hang out with my buddy. Okay.
Yeah, they're calling.
I'll never say I'm too drunk, because if I'm drunk, I really don't give a shit even more.
Well, that happens a lot. Like, we'll drive, bring all the stuff, and then they'll be like, oh, can we do it another time?
On that rack over there.
So, but anyway, we want to tell you that, we thank you and we appreciate it. And
ain't no problem at all. Hope y'all enjoy them.
Oh, I don't think we're gonna have any problems. Like I said, just from what I see, if people could see the dogs that you have,
yeah,
if they know dogs, then they'll understand.
And what I saw, that's a lot of problem with the people who do run their mouth is ain't none of them ever hunted with us. Ain't none of them ever seen anything I have.
That happens.
Yeah,
I've
haters gonna hate.
Oh yeah. That's what I said. I was doing real good, and I realized you ain't nobody if you ain't got no haters. I got to dig.
I got a bunch of them.
Well, you somebody then, bro.
After this podcast, you probably finna have a bunch.
I don't dig here. They can come on with it. Like I said, I had one guy. His wife called and give me the what for. So I was like, I'm on my way. I'm doing good now. I'm somebody. So I was talking about his dog. So, but like I said, we appreciate y'all, and till next time, we'll see y'all.
Yes, sir.